to go, motherfucker. Hit the block like fuck the cops, militia minded only. Hit the block like, hit the block like fuck the cops, militia minded only. Kundalini like Houdini, all the streets up on me. Hit the block like fuck the cops, militia minded only. Kundalini like Houdini, all the streets up on me. Rock wallers and pits, we can smell that you phony. Cheese squeeze for the cheese, beefing over bologna. Professional, no question, bro, much bigger than the gang. Don't stress these hoes, heard your flows, all that shit be sounding the same. Switching like a bitch, this they makeup kit. Niggas suck a lot of dick instead of putting out them hits. They lurking though, search the slow thug life still exists. Illuminati, army, Machiavelli in this bitch. 500 artists, everybody bout to drop. Can't explain the pot, just know we brought them blocks. Bet you got it twisted, you don't know who to trust. So many player hating niggas trying to sound like us. Bet you got it twisted, you don't know who to trust. So many player hating niggas trying to sound like us. Cheating on them, 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 cheating on them. Bet you got it twisted, you don't know who to trust. So many player hating niggas trying to sound like us.
Yeah, welcome back to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your favorite radio show in the world, Detroit Unplugged. And listen, yo, we wanted to play you the joint. Got us all geeked up. Because look, it's certainly a blessing when we can dedicate shows to certain cliques that really inspire. And I got to be honest, man, tonight we got a couple MCs that truly inspire us. And I know they inspire people all around the damn world. It's a clique that's been along for a long time. And Tupac, man, he pretty much started this thing for all of us, that true passion. I know he inspired me, still lives through certain people. Listen, I want to welcome to Detroit Unplugged Radio, Pachi Rydah. What up, dude?
Dude, what's hood, what it do? Was really good.
Man, fam, I'm really blessed to have you on the show this evening. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Same here. I feel the same way, yo. I appreciate the support. The same way we give it is the same way we need it. You feel me? So I appreciate y'all as well. Word up.
Yo, listen, it's our obligation. You know what I mean? Hip-hop's done so much for us. There's certain groups that just need to have that music and that story distributed. And certainly you're part of that echelon, my friend. So from everybody at Michigan United Broadcast, salute to you and your whole family.
No doubt. Really appreciate that, man. Salute to the whole Detroit, you know what I'm saying, to everything. I've been listening. I've been following the independent artists. I've been listening to y'all stuff. And I send a strong salute to all y'all as well. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's all about, the unity inside this new module we dealing with, you know what I mean?
Right.
The game is different right now.
It really is. It really is. Well, I want to get into the whole story. Like I was telling you in the green room, my friend, we just love to get the story. You know what I mean? We're gonna showcase your craft as well, but we really want to give you this time. Again, we want to give you the showcase to hear really how you fell in love with hip-hop. You got hip-hop in your veins, brother. You're related to Pac. Literally, seriously, he created the catalyst for pretty much everybody in hip-hop today. So I want to give you the mic, man. I want to go back in time and pretty much tell us how you got into this. Tell us about your bloodline and really how hip-hop was influenced in your life.
So, yeah, I got in it by, like you said, I was born into it. You know what I mean? My whole family is deep into the industry, you know what I'm saying, as well as just being black deep into the streets, you know what I mean? So my state that I'm originally from is North Carolina. You know what I mean? That's where a lot of us are from that's actually inside of the same tribe. You know what I mean? I know nowadays everybody thinks family, you know what I'm saying? But my ancestry lies inside of, tribal situations, you know what I mean? So that's how I got into it. You know what I'm saying? It being passed down. You know what I'm saying? That G code, that DNA. You know what I'm saying? Structure to be able to know how to maneuver as a peaceful warrior. You know what I mean? And you had situations like hip hop, you know, dealing with the crack epidemic, you know what I'm saying, during the Reaganomics. Right. You know what I mean? And with that being the case, you had all the tribes, you know, shout out to Matula. What Matula was dealing with in the 70s, we were the effect. That was the cause. We were the effect of that. So that had a lot of families kind of torn apart, you know what I mean? Single parent households, people being under attack, having to switch their name, and I believe that's where hip hop even gets, you know, how the Shakurs, you know, switch their name and whatnot. That's even how hip hop does with obtaining a name, you know what I mean? Right. And so, you know, it goes all into my name, like Tupac's name, you know what I'm saying, representing, you know what I'm saying, the Inca chief. Apache is the same thing. It represents the Indian chief, you know what I'm saying? And it was passed down through that tribal code. As far as the music game, we're the second breed, you know what I'm saying? You have to ask me the questions you want to know, but, you know what I'm saying, as far as where we're at right now, you know what I'm saying, we're all the second generation of, like, what started in the 70s and the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Right. All the way inside the industry and the streets, you know what I mean? My aunt is a Sada, you know what I'm saying? Shakur, she's from Wilmington. There's a documentary out there called Wilmington on Fire. It's like an independent documentary, but it's doing very well.
What's it called again, man? I want to make sure we get that out there.
Wilmington on Fire.
Word up.
Yeah, Wilmington on Fire. You know what I'm saying? That's where Asada, those that don't know, you know, she's like on the terrorist list, and she's out in Cuba, and you know, they have a bounty on her head and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But
right.
Yeah. So that's what I mean when I say industry and in the streets. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's thick. It's a long. Like it'll take up a lot of time to. That's why I say you may want to ask me some questions on that, because it'll take up a lot of time trying to, you know what I'm saying, break down every fabric of that. So I really don't know. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I totally feel that. And listen, like I told you in the break room, man, we want to give you your forum. And on top of that, we just love to hear, we love hip hop music, man. I've been in it, 25 years now, so it's in my blood as well. So what we like to do is, a lot of our listeners will never get the opportunity to rock a stage, to rock an arena full of people. You know what I mean? So we like to get those stories. You know what? Let me ask you this, man. Tell me about the first time you ever gripped a mic, man, and tell us about that night and how that really went down.
The first time I ever gripped a mic was in elementary school, talent show. I was up against a girl. Like I came in second place to a girl that was playing the piano. You know what I'm saying? But that was my first time, and when I saw the power of influence and vibration and frequency of what it could do to, a lot of people, a room of people, that's when, I knew that's all I wanted to do was the hip hop shit, you know what I'm saying, some form of fashion. As far as like a mega stage, I think the first time and the first time that I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I was going to attain the vision of true to the essence of an MC and everything is when I opened up with Pac, you know what I'm saying, and Big L, you know what I'm saying. When I opened up for both of them, you know what I'm saying, that's when I was like, okay, can't nobody tell me shit right now. You know what I mean? No matter what. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
As far as the craft, you know what I mean? As far as the craft. And some of the young cats that don't, like you said, that don't, may not know, the lifestyle. The lifestyle is very aggressive, you know what I'm saying, but at the same time, it's very intuitive, you know what I'm saying, with the lyrics and the subliminal messages. I think that we can speak through code and whatnot, and that we can communicate to each other, you know what I mean? So yeah, on stage, man, you know what I'm saying, you can put out some strong vibes, and that's how I pretty much, fell in love with the fact that you can do a call and command thing and unite people and whatnot.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's the shit. Listen, and I know you got some great stories, man. You talked about it, opening up for Pac. I mean, within that, I bet you could tell us 4 or 5 stories. I don't expect you to tell us 4 or 5, but maybe 1 or 2. Is there anything that stands out? Like, I'm sure my listeners like to hear your relationship with Pac and maybe hear some stories about that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a lot to stand out. One thing that I will always, remember is the fact that he, like I was saying, the call and command, not being on stage and being away from the stage or having like 30 people on stage that's not coordinated, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But really being by yourself and being able to stand in the front of the stage and fucking just go hard, like just rock
have
the
that
crowd.
Cadence. Right.
Yeah, have that cadence and just go hard and maneuver like that. That was like the one thing I'll never forget. And then as far as us, our personal situation, it was more, of I would say a pupil type situation where he explained to me how he foresaw the industry changing and whatnot, and how to maneuver inside of it. You know what I mean? Like we had those type of conversations, and it's a lot. Like you said, it's a lot of different stories that I could break down, but it's just like if I don't if I don't know exactly what you want to know, like if you ask me a question, you know what I'm saying, and I don't know exactly what you want to know, you know what I'm saying, then I'll be here for a long time thinking of all the different, you know what I mean? And I'm just saying, you feel like I'm not sure, you know what I'm saying, which story you want to know. There's situations like that. There's situations that we're releasing the DVD on, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to say too much because some of the footage is coming out on DVD, you know what I mean?
Right. We can't wait for it, man. We'll certainly promote it. Anything you do, brother. Let's talk about this. We love to hear stories. So I don't mean to pry too much into that. Let's talk about what you guys got going on nowadays, man. I want to talk about the here and now. You got the 2GO, the digital, and you got a lot of great artists under that umbrella. Please, let's talk about it a bit for us.
There we go. So, 2GO is from the essence of all of that. You know what I'm saying? There's other interviews that cover a lot of those things that people may want to know. But on this interview, I wanted to let them be able to say, all right, well, when you go to the website, you can catch all the stories about how we coming together and where we came from. You know what I mean?
I love it.
But right here to get to show something new, and that's what it is. 2GO is the second generation Outlawz. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. And with that, you know what I'm saying, you got a conglomerate of different companies as well as individual cliques, you know what I'm saying, but they all fit under this banner second generation Outlawz because it's the truth. Like, you know what I mean? It's not fabricated. It's not a gimmick or anything. It's like a bloodline of friends and close family. You know what I mean? So in that crew, you got a lot of cats, but just to name some of them, you know what I'm saying, Jabril Therapist Bay, you know what I'm saying, he has a squad called Gym, which is Global Young Moguls, you know what I'm saying, go-getters. And then you have Kendrick Lassane, you know what I'm saying, who's also Pac's, cousin, and he is like the wisdom of the squad, you know what I'm saying. You got Billy Bang. You got Billy Bang, who's also Kenny's brother and Castro's brother. And then you got Seth Muglo, Donovan Quez, Coopville, Chose, Bakeem. Got a cat named Chair Crazy because he in the wheelchair, but this nigga get more money than any nigga standing up. You know what I'm saying? Then you got a guy named Che. this cat named Che. He was on the O4L album, singing that Perfect Time, and he's the guy on that hook right there.
Right.
And he's also was on T.I.'s first album, I believe. And then you got Lloyd, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know, but Lloyd, the singer, you know what I'm saying? He's second generation outlaw. You got Stormy, the general. He was actually in the group, the original outlaw group.
Yes,
and
sir.
Of course, you have the very new Fatal Deli Records. You know what I'm saying? That's like very new. You know what I mean? And they're going to do a lot of damage. You know what I mean? Then you got Quez. You got a whole lot of people moving between East Coast and West Coast, uniting for this tribute project that we're doing.
I love it.
The tribute project is a Tupac family tribute hosted by DJ King Assassin. I mean, his history with Pac is ridiculous, and he has plenty of stories and moments as well. You know what I mean? He has a whole project moving where he's putting that out to show his aspect and his view of his time with Pac as well. And
right.
this tribute mix CD is to introduce all of the Outlawz' little cousins and Pac's little cousins and the close friends of those cousins and family members, as well as artists in different states, because that was a vision Pac discussed with us and wanted to do was one nation. He wanted everybody to be able to communicate to each other and get money and get themselves out of the poverty situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, network.
Beautiful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Bang.
It's a beautiful thing.
Network. Yeah.
Like I said, we were inspired by him. The reason we do what we do is just to unite and move forward as a global family and a global community, man. Utilize each other, grow together, get paid together. We were just talking about it. And Pac was a huge influence in that. And now you guys just carry that on. And I love it. I hear it in your music. I hear it in your passion. Brother, it's a beautiful thing.
No doubt. You know, during that time, you know, it was a lot going on. Just to give you, I just thought about a story while we was talking just now. Yeah, during that time, I came up upon the ranks of every legend, you know what I'm saying? So Pac, you know what I'm saying, I was blessed to rock with him and, you know what I'm saying, get a lot of game from him directly, as well as Big L. Fuquan, a lot of people got to do their hip-hop history on a guy named Fuquan, but he was in a group called the Grave Diggers, and they were a part of Wu-Tang's crew. But before that, he was in a group called Stetson Sonic. So he was on that song called Self-Destruction. That's like back there, right? But I was blessed to meet him as well, and we recorded together. And just every great, because I consider him a great. RZA
he really is.
I held the stage with RZA, you know. Held it down with RZA. And that was all during the times that they were just popping. Like Method Man, you gotta understand, when I was rocking with Pac, Dear Mama hadn't came out. And then, what's his name? Wu-Tang was just starting to pop, you know what I mean? So, during that whole time, I just learned a lot how the industry worked, the art of MCing on a high degree, and just real, I guess a network, you know what I mean? Like I was learning the network during that time. So right now, you know, I look at the situation and say that we have second generation. We're trying to, knowing that we have this powerful network, inside of the network we shouldn't have no problems. You know what I'm saying? So second generation represents that seed that grew from the original network to this network. And, you know, and it's like each one teach one, you know what I'm saying? Come across somebody, build with them, and make stuff happen, because that's what operating under thug laws is, you know what I mean? There's a code, but if we don't, in this hip-hop game, you know, I use Puff Daddy as an example, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of, you know, facets to that guy, but one thing that you have to look at is the fact that he just bought a charter school. You know what I'm saying? The thug network, or the real nigga network, you know what I'm saying? We have to have the kind of focus to do the same thing, you know what I'm saying, on a level that gives out the curriculum that we all know in the hip-hop era. You know what I mean? Like hip-hop, they'd be like, well, you can take a class in college on hip-hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But reality is that you can not take a class, you can own a school on hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? And that type of stuff has to happen the same way that they're doing it. This network here needs to do it, and it is two different networks. You know what I'm saying? And their network, a lot of times, and when I say their, I mean the Sharks, their side a lot of times rush into our network and just take chunks out of it. You know what I'm saying? Just see a baby fish, just eat that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're sharks. You know what I'm saying? But they're sharks now inside of a new stream of a new stream of artists that don't need anything that they selling. Like, you know, we don't have to buy no cable time right now. You know what I mean? I don't have to pay you to get on your radio show because my homie got one. You know what I mean? And with that, we become I call it the piranhas. You know what I'm saying? The second generation outlaws. We're piranhas in this industry that are basically eating at the dead sharks. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds blatant, but that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
And you know, that's what your radio show represents a part of that. Because when I say piranha, I mean something. You know, it's a company that they consider small. You know what I'm saying? Or the independent artists or the hip hop artists, they consider them small because they have the capital dollar and the resources that independent don't. But the problem that they have is that though they may have the upfront capital, they don't have the ROI, the return on that capital. You know what I mean? So the only way to do it, you know, and then what the piranha has that the big companies don't have and the independent artists have that the majors don't is their flexibility and how they can adjust and deal directly with the fans directly. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, that's where we're at right now. We're trying to put out this tribute project and show people not only, you know, that we did it together, because this album was put together by everybody. It wasn't like a record the record label. When I say album, I mean mixtape, but it's, you know, it's as powerful as an album. But it was put together collectively. Everybody.
Collective, right?
Yeah. Everybody invested time and energy collectively, and finances as well, to make it happen. So
it's a beautiful thing.
You know, yes, sir.
It's bringing the artistry back and the authenticity back to hip-hop. That ever went anywhere. Man, listen, hip-hop has been here the whole time, and it's beautiful to see a global network really put it back on the forefront.
No doubt. That's real talk.
My dude, bro, we're all about it, homie. So anything we can ever do for you, you already know, bro. This is the forum. All you got to do is give us the instructions, and we got you. Here's the deal, bro.
Right.
Always, you know, we tell our listeners, bro, to support, especially your cause and what you guys got going on, man. Certainly put out any social media contact, anything where my listeners can get at you and support you.
Right, no doubt. I appreciate that. The main media is, if you hashtag anything anywhere, you get the number 2 ND Generation Outlawz with a Z at the end of Outlawz. You know what I'm saying? And then the website is the same thing, secondgenerationoutlaws.com. You know what I mean? Facebook, everything's linked in like that. As far as my information, it's Pachi Rydah. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag Pachi Rydah. I pop up there. You know what I mean? And if you go on YouTube or anything like that, or you see any interview that I've done and you want to pop some shit, know that I'm going to pop some shit back. And the difference in me popping shit back is that I will follow up on the shit that I'm popping back. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people, you know, need to know about this piranha as well. You know what I mean? Like, I deal with them directly. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, that guy Taxstone. You know what I mean? That dude that's a real mission. You know what I'm saying? That if he doesn't apologize to my blood, you know what I'm saying, then you know, that's a real scenario. You know what I mean? A real scenario.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, bro.
You know, outside of, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, outside of, you know, hating people like that are hating on the fact that we are trying to expand our community and deal with crisis situations, you know what I'm saying, versus just the normal bling situations. Like we are really dealing with, like, okay, there's absolutely no reason why these people should be going through this. And
right.
That's our focus. So anybody that tries to come in and stop that, the karmatic energy going to deal with them by, you know, alone. But as far as the artist that's not with that, we asking that everybody spend money inside, spend money with the resources that they can call on the phone. You understand? That's the way I put it. Like, if you're going to spend money in this, you're going to have to spend money in this business. You know what I'm saying? And what I've learned from Pac that he was doing back then, was just doing now because of social media. This nigga was social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was,
yeah.
He was like a Facebook by itself. You know what I'm saying? So he would he knew how to get money, you know what I'm saying, as an independent module. And right now, one thing he also did was spend the money inside of the same network. So some people will go, some independent artists will go get Reverb a whole bunch of bread, you know, for these little packs and stuff, and give some of these other companies a whole bunch of bread for some of these shows and shit. But they can't call that person on the phone directly. That makes you a worker, or like if you were selling drugs, you would be selling dimes. But that's not making you a boss at all. You know what I'm saying? A boss does, and I ain't talking about a boss like Rick Ross. I should say a leader. A leader does. A leader does executive shit. So they're not gonna. If I can't call you on the phone, I'm not sending you $5. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're like unless you know you're a donation or something, I can write it off or something. But that's when you're actually handling business in the game. That's something that we should definitely make sure that we focus on. It's what we're doing already, and we're trying to spread that. Like with the mix CD, the artists, they get 100 physical copies of the mix CD. So you're getting mix CD with DJ King Assassin and all these other legends that worked on this project. Dead Prez, M1. I'm not going to name all of them, of course, because we're doing a press release with it. But we have, like, the family on there, of course, and we have, like, a lot of guest celebrities supporting it. They get 100 copies of
Very
that.
Nice.
And they can do what they want to do with it. You know, we're not selling ours. We're giving them out as a promo and for free, so then the independent artists should be able to do a whole lot with, you know, something that's like a piece of history, hip-hop history, you know what I mean, and today, you know what I mean. Nice.
It's a beautiful thing, man. Listen, we love you, bro. You're doing your damn thing, bro. We support the whole family. And, you know, I hate to cut it short. We got intermission, and we're bringing Pistol on. So certainly it's been a pleasure having you on, my friend. Real spit.
Appreciate it. Look forward to doing another one. And then the rest of my crew, URYBI, you know what I'm saying? I would love for them to come on air, you know what I mean?
Would love
as well as Jabril, get the whole camp on deck. Salute to y'all, man. I appreciate it. Dude, it's been beautiful.
Listen, one love to you, brother, and anything we can do, we'll talk off air, man, and we'll get your other artists scheduled for some interviews.
Can I say one more thing, brother? Real
quick.
Please do. We have the female Outlawz. We also have the model executives to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's the female branch of what we're doing. We got a whole squad of lyricists like Ricky Jackson, Chi Duchess. There's a whole movement, Spirit, Nina. Like, we have a whole new side, and I just want to send a salute to the female Outlawz before I got off the line. You know what I mean? They'll be coming on deck too real soon.
And listen, I'd like to bring a couple of the female MCs on as well. Let's get it in, bro. It's been a pleasure. We'll talk real soon.
Yeah, one love, one thug, one nation. To the world below.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the one and only Pachi Rydah. Second generation Outlawz. Live on Detroit Unplugged Radio this evening. Yeah.
To go, motherfucker. Hit the block like fuck the cops, militia minded only. Hit the block like, hit the block like fuck the cops, militia minded only. Kundalini like Houdini, all the streets up on me. Hit the block like fuck the cops, militia minded only. Kundalini like Houdini, all the streets up on me. Rock wallers and pits, we can smell that you phony. Cheese squeeze for the cheese, beefing over bologna. Professional, no question, bro, much bigger than the gang. Don't stress these hoes, heard your flows, all that shit be sounding the same. Switching like a bitch, this they makeup kit. Niggas suck a lot of dick instead of putting out them hits. They looking though, search the slow thug life still exists. Illuminati, Army, Machiavelli in this bitch. 500 artists, everybody bout to drop. Can't explain the pot, just know we brought them blocks. Fire.
Bet you got it twisted, you don't know who to trust. So many player hating niggas trying to sound like us. Bet you got it twisted, you don't know who to trust. So many player hating niggas trying to sound like us.
Cheating on them, 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 cheating on them.
Bet you got it twisted, you don't know who to trust. So many player hating niggas trying to sound like us.
My roller pistola.